watching Play Replay with Async. Today I just wanted to give my thoughts on some video games that I like that I'm into, just to kind of share. It's always kind of cool to kind of back and forth with people and talk about what they're into and kind of give your thoughts, whatever, on the different, you guys can comment below and I could just kind of go back and forth with you. I'm not doing a live stream yet because I don't know how to do that, to be honest. I haven't learned how to do that yet. I know there's like a Prism app, Prism Live, I think I got on my phone. I wanted to try that maybe sometime because I don't have 1,000 followers at this point, so I can't go live, I believe. And the way YouTube is making it nowadays, especially with shorts now being part of your whole thing, I don't know if it'll be a long time before I can monetize or do anything with this live or go do all that stuff, because YouTube makes it harder for new creators. I think that they just don't make it easy on purpose, because I don't know. I just don't think that they value the people that are on YouTube. They just kind of just look at them as low lifes or something. I don't know. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on some video games, I guess, that I wanted to kind of give my overview on, I guess, and what I think are great games. So if I'm looking this way a lot, it's because I'm looking at my game selection. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to look away from the camera and stuff. But anyway, I guess I'll start with some older games that I like. And I'm kind of a weird person. I like games that it seems like not a lot of people are really into for some reason. I like a lot of popular ones, but not super popular ones, I guess. So there's one, I like the Thief franchise. You ever play the Thief games? Thief Deadly Shadows is my favorite one. And that was on the original Xbox. At least that's where I played it. I know they have it on the Steam store right now. And I might actually buy it for my PC, because I can't play it now because I have an Xbox One S, or One Series S, whatever. Anyway, and that doesn't play regular Xbox games like that. So that's what sucks about backward. They got all this options for backward compatibility, but they just don't care because they want to keep moving you along to the next system, so whatever. Anyway, so Deadly Shadows is really, back in the day, I used to love that game because I didn't realize it back then, because I didn't know about H.P. Lovecraft and that type of stuff back then. So I didn't realize it, but I was an H.P. Lovecraft kind of mythos kind of fan. So when I played Thief Deadly Shadows, that game feels like an H.P. Lovecraft story. It's actually it feels like an H.P. Lovecraft story in a lot of ways. Not throughout completely, but it does feel like it, because there's like a city that you're in, and there's like this underbelly of stuff going on, where there's like monsters and like kind of, I think it was like cultish kind of stuff back. It's just weird. It's just really cool. And you're stealing and you're kind of sneaking through, and you see all this stuff. And there's this at one point, there's like this monster that gets released in the city that you're like, it actually kind of scared me at the time. I know the graphics are not the greatest, but it was kind of creepy knowing that this thing got out or whatever. And it's just really cool that there's so much to that story. It just feels full, and there's so many it's like a central hub in the game that you can kind of go through, and then you go to other places from that hub. You go to like a prison at one point, and there's all these different little elements that make up that game, that make it a really good experience for a player. And I wish that they would just do, they'd like to do remasters and remakes of all these games now and release them on these, and like Xbox and PlayStation. But I don't know why they can't just do a remaster of that game to put on these big systems. But I guess it probably costs money, and it seems like the Thief franchise is not doing well, considering that the last Thief game, it was okay. I played it, the last one that came out for the new Xbox One at the time, and I played it, but it wasn't the same as Deadly Shadows. And I know there's other Thief games that are going way back, you know. But I think Thief Deadly Shadows is a really good game. So that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, and then speaking of the Cthulhu stuff, Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the World, or Dark Corners of the something. Anyway, I'll put the image up here so you'll know. But that game is really something else. It came out right at the end of the original Xbox, its life basically, and it really sucks that it came out right at the end because it's a really good game. It's got a lot of great elements in it that, I mean, it's basically Shadow over Innsmouth in a way. And tell me if I'm getting that right or wrong, because Innsmouth or Innsmouth or whatever. This hat looks weird on me here. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the heck? Why does it look like I'm wearing a headband or something? Anyway, the Shadow over Innsmouth or whatever, that story from H.P. Lovecraft is basically what it is in a way. It's not the same exact, but no H.P. Lovecraft stories ever remain exactly the way they are written. It seems like there's whoever puts these into games, whoever, they always change it and do it differently. For some reason, H.P. Lovecraft stories, they cannot do it an exact story as it's written in the book. Now, I know H.P. Lovecraft is a racist, and he's a pile of crap for that, and he's got all these issues, the man himself, but he did write some great, interesting stories, because he made horror stories that basically makes atheists scared. And I mean, I'm a Christian, so I can look into this stuff and I go, wow, it's scary for me. So if that's scary for him, an atheist, then wow, that's something. But yeah, so that story is really well done, and it takes you through all these different things. It's not the best play, I guess, if I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the best playthrough, because there is some glitches in the game and some issues. I think it's made by Bethesda, actually. But yeah, I know Bethesda, and they have some glitches, but this was pretty early on Bethesda. It seemed like they did better back in the old days, but I mean, they're fine once they patch everything. But it seems like right away when they launch a game, it has some issues, it seems like. But yeah, this game is just kind of a good H.P. Lovecraft story. It has the Dagon stuff in it, a lot of Dagon stuff with the monsters and stuff from the sea and all that. And it does have these creatures. I mean, the Sunken City, I have that game for Xbox, and that's another H.P. Lovecraft type story that's basically trying to go down the same route as the Shadow over Innsmouth in a lot of ways, because it's the town kind of thing, and it's like water everywhere, and there's like creatures in these houses, and this, you know, things are going on in the shadow stuff. But that's open world. I wish this game was. I wish the Call of Cthulhu game for the original Xbox, I wish that was an open world game like the Sinking City is, because that would have been really fun. But it's not open world, but there is some. It has, once again, it kind of has a central hub in the story that you're kind of crisscrossing through for a while, and then you start getting into this other stuff going on. But yeah, it's really kind of interesting. If you actually make it through the whole story, it does have a pretty good story. But it's kind of slow moving, but there is a lot of cool things that happen in it. And it feels a little scary sometimes too. But yeah, and then I'll move on to some other games that I'm into that are totally different. I'm going to be done with the H.P. Lovecraft stuff now, I think. But yeah, I like the Far Cry franchise. That's always been one I've always loved. Some of the stories are not the greatest, but the gameplay and the open world and all that stuff, I just love open world. Anything open world. Just, well, I shouldn't say anything, but open world stuff where I have control of, you know, doing what I need to do. Like Minecraft is a great open world game. Of course, a lot of people like that game. That's kind of a world renowned game. But I enjoy playing open world stuff where I can just go and do my thing. Skyrim, that type. I have that game, and that's a fun game, especially with the mods that they put into it. For the Xbox, I'm glad that they released the version where you can actually have mods, and I shouldn't say mod. Yeah, I think they're mods, but anyway, where you can add stuff to the game. I seen that there was a Castle Grayskull mod that somebody did, but I think that was on PC, and I really wish that that was on my Xbox because I am a Masters of the Universe fan, as I said in other videos, and I really wish I could play a Masters of the Universe game in the same kind of regards like Skyrim, that kind of feels like Skyrim, but it's a Masters of the Universe. That would be so awesome. I mean, Far Cry had Far Cry Primal, that kind of felt like Masters of the Universe when you get to ride that giant saber-toothed cat in the game. But I mean, I wish they'd make a Masters of the Universe game and do it right, but I don't know if they would. And I would want it open world, completely open world. But I'm not going to do all that. I'm not going to talk about all that right now. Next one is No Man's Sky. That's talk about far off. That's a far distant difference there. No Man's Sky is a fun game, but that will take up all of your time, like all of it, all the time that you have for free to do anything. You're going to lose all your time when you play No Man's Sky, because you're going to spend time going all around mining and looking for every little kind of resource and everything to try and make your ships, try to get your battleships going, I mean, there is so much going on in that game that you're traveling from galaxy to galaxy looking for things, looking for better places, a good place to build like a base, and it's just amazing. You can do that. Feels like Minecraft if you were able to just go to all planets. But it's kind of complex to learn in the beginning. It took me a long time to get the feel for that game, and then once I got the feel for it, and of course some glitches happened where I managed to get a lot of ability to make money so I could buy starships and stuff. But yeah, once that happens, once you're into the game and you're used to it, then you're kind of just, it's kind of laid back and you can go and do what you're going to do, whatever. I wish there was a little bit of horror in that game though, where stuff could actually come after you, kind of like Minecraft, that actually were a threat to you in a lot of ways. I mean, there is stuff that's kind of threatening to you, but it's not really like, it doesn't feel like a big major threat. Like you feel like you can get away from it if you just get in your ship and just fly out or something. But moving on, I don't really play like Grand Theft Auto games. I'll play sometimes, but it's like I don't really play the story. I just kind of play them to just screw off and just blow up stuff and just drive into things. I don't know. It's just, I don't really play Grand Theft Auto games properly. So I don't really consider Grand Theft Auto games like on my top list of favorite things. And it sounds like the next one that they're coming out with is going to be woke. So I don't think that anyone's going to want to buy that after that either. So yeah, I don't know. But and like Command and Conquer games, those are games that I used to love too. I don't know why I thought of that, but that was another one that I think of. Half-Life, that was always one of those franchises I wish kept going. For some reason, they just stopped moving along with that. I don't know why. I think Valve just hates the fans of Half-Life or something. I don't know why they hate them, because they wrote a good story. It was really like a dictatorship type of thing in those games, and it's like they were showing you that this could be your future kind of thing, 1984 type stuff. But for some reason they just stopped doing it. I mean, I got the orange box or whatever for the Xbox a long time ago, and that was one of my favorite, like everything was in there, so it's kind of cool. And like the porthole games and stuff were in that. So I don't know. But I just wish they'd bring that back and continue it and not have it like just a short little adventure for somebody on, I don't know, some 3D little short thing. I wish they'd actually continue it in actual game format. But moving on, I think that like Transformers games, of course, I'm a Transformers fan too. So I would say that Transformers Devastation is a good game. It just kind of falls off near the end. It just doesn't, the story doesn't, it's not the greatest story. But I think they could have done better on another one after that. Transformers Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron, those are the best, I think. Those are the best Transformer games. I think they could have done, if they would have kept going with that, I think they could have made it more open world, and I think they would have made it to Earth. So eventually they could have done like more of an open world thing when they got to Earth, I think. Because on Cybertron, there's just so many buildings and so much condensed stuff everywhere that I think it's harder for them to make it open world, because it's just, they got to build all these different looking things everywhere. I don't know. And I did like the element in War for Cybertron, the first game, where you could play, like, choose from 3 characters to play in the mission instead of just one character, you know. And then Fall of Cybertron, the second game, they really just, I don't know. It's a good game. The story's good and everything, but it just kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not as fun, I don't think. It's got some good story elements, but some of the designs I wasn't a big fan of when they changed in the Fall of Cybertron game after War for Cybertron. But yeah, that's my thoughts on those. Trying to think of any other games that I don't really play, like Fallout type games. I always buy them. I don't know what it is. I'll buy a Fallout game. I'll play it a little bit, and then I just kind of fall right off. I don't know what it is about that, but that's kind of how I am. I'd like to see some backrooms games. I'm a huge, well, I go by the name Async on this show. So if you ever hear me talk, you know, that's, if you ever need to say anything to me in the comments or whatever, call me Async. That's what I am, because of, you know, the backrooms. They have that organization or whatever. They're called Async. So that's kind of where I got that from. And I just love the backrooms, like the Kane Pixel story that they keep putting on YouTube, and he keeps continuing on with this mystery that he's got going with the. I'm not really a big fan of all the other videos that they use for backroom stuff, but I do like the Kane Pixel stuff. So he really does a great job with these videos, and I guess he's like a 17-year-old kid, maybe 18 now. So those are really great videos. But I've got some backrooms games on my iPhone that I got from the Apple Store, and some of them are kind of cool. I mean, I played one on this channel, Backrooms Descent or whatever, and it's okay. It starts off good when you're in the yellow walled rooms and all the normal backrooms type of environment, but as you get into these other environments, it's just kind of falls right off. There wasn't a lot of story, a lot of open space really in the other levels. It's just, I don't know, it's what it is. So I'd really like to see some backrooms games. I did see a Steam, because recently I opened up Steam on my phone, and I'm gonna probably put it on my laptop. And I was thinking about downloading some older games or whatever and playing them with a controller, because I don't play games on a laptop like everybody else with the stupid mouse and all the buttons and stuff. I can't stand that. I like controllers. I like consoles, but I know I've been told that Steam has games that you can play with your controller, you can configure it or whatever. But I don't know if some of these older games can do that. I don't know if these backrooms games were made so you could play it with a controller. I don't know. I'm not a big Steam person. I don't know much about it. So I'm kind of curious as to find out what they're going to do when I hook up a controller with some of these games. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about here. I think I kind of covered everything. I mean, I like Nintendo games. That's another thing I like, but I don't have a Nintendo Switch at all, so I really can't. I got a Nintendo Wii U that I don't really play too much, but yeah, Breath of the Wild and stuff, and Zelda, Wind Waker and stuff like that's on there, but I don't know. So yeah, just comment below if you got any. Tell me what you think of games or whatever. Some of the stuff I talked about maybe. If you have knowledge about Steam and all the controllers and stuff and whatever, just kind of hit me up and just kind of let me know what you think or whatever. But yeah, I think that's about it. So like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.